Injury, nobody except me. Just the plantar spread a little bit into the calf, but so it's just managing it.
Coach, how does it feel to have a week off?
It felt good because I thought we were a little tired. I thought we were a little drained. I think just those games that in particular, I'd say that kind of that last one was just on top of us so quick with the noon tip, and a couple of those noon tips, that.
How are you?
Good. I don't have anything good to say anyway.
The noon tip.
The noon tips, I just think, like everyone else. I mean, it's like, no matter how you do conference schedule, it's going to be tough. It's tough on everybody, especially when you play in physical, tough leagues where in places that are hard to play. So, just like every other coach in the country, like your conference schedule is tough on you.
Might be a tight freshman of the year race by the end of this.
Yeah, I mean, you could see the, number one, I think it was a great class. Number two, just that losing that COVID class, just gives more of a chance for younger players to get in there and make an impact. But I think it was also it was obviously a great class.
What do you think of Lewis?
I mean, we obviously think real highly of him. We recruited him. Obviously really hard, and you see what he's doing out there. I mean, he's a real. He's a fun player to watch. I mean, the game comes so easy to him. He's got a genius with the ball out there. We just got to make it as tough on him as we can. We're trying to mix things up with what he sees defensively in the ball screen game because, he's eventually. I hate when people do it to us, and I should stop doing it to us too. But, he's going to be an NBA. He's clearly going to be a first-round pick at some point.
Coach, can you talk about what Kevin Willard's done his first year at Villanova? Seems like a pretty good job so far.
Yeah, Kevin's a top coach. It's you get what you get when what's going on with him in year one. At Villanova, when you have a top coach in college, it makes a big impact. And you can see, with obviously now, year ones I think are obviously a lot different moving forward. It's not year one like it was, years back, pre-NIL, pre-portal, or pre-total free agency. Now year one, there's expectations for year one coaches where you can flip a roster, you can go and get and ask you a sixth-year player, experience now with his fifth school. You can go and get a center that played for my brother. I remember watching the big fella play for my brother at Arizona State, who's an excellent player. You can go and get Lindsay. You can now in year one, there's still no guarantees because you got to build a program, you got to build a culture. But you could see that Kevin's, very quickly has Villanova competing to win the league.
Yeah, his name escapes me. The big kid, 10.6 rebounds a game. I think is he impressed? He's impressed you so far.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen him. I saw him as a young player. I know, he was, he looked like he was going to be a really good player, for my brother, and he's an ass kicker. He doesn't. He's not looking for a jersey swap after the game. I mean, he's looking to kick your ass. He doesn't want you to follow him on Instagram, and he doesn't give a shit whether you like his posts.
So is that a good matchup for Terrace? Because Terrace, he needs to get a little meaner sometimes, right?
I think we as a team need to get a lot meaner. I think we need to, we need to play with more violence. We need to play with more nasty edge. We need to play with more of a killer instinct. I mean, we got great guys in the program. I think we got a great culture. The downside of that is you wish you had people that had an alter ego when the game started and became a little bit more killers.
With the break, what was the main focus on this week to just try and improve your team? Preparing for an opponent, just more focusing on improving your team.
Yeah, I think for us, obviously, the turnovers, the lack of consistency rebounding the ball, the inability to getting out and transition as much as we want and be as efficient as we need to be. The way we turn the ball over in transition, forget getting dunks and threes. There's just a lot of room for growth there. But then you also have to mix in, just obviously the preparation, the matchup zone with Villanova and some of the things that they do. Offensively, they got a great scheme and obviously bring a lot of three-point shooting in.
Coach, is it you're talking about you want more toughness, at this point in the season, halfway done or so. Is that a message that is resonating? Is there a message that you have to keep?
Well, I mean, at some point, the problems that your team has, that just if they don't get rectified, improved, then that's just who you are, and then that's just maybe you're not a championship caliber team. Maybe you're just a team that could have a very good year or a great or close to a great year. But at some point, if you're still talking about it in January into February, and then now you find yourself in March, that just, unfortunately, that just becomes who you are. So, we've got, those things, the rebounding, the turning the ball over, like getting better performances, from players across the board, where they could be more efficient. Like, we got to start turning it up and playing full 40-minute games, or else that just becomes who you are.
Can you talk about the precedents that Alabama and Patacchio have set now, and your opinion on what kind of effect it has on college basketball?
Yeah, I just tried to make light of it the other day. It wasn't a shot. I mean, I'm good friends with Preston and Nate, and got a lot of respect for Alabama. Some of the stuff with just the guys, again, coming from, either like G League or some of that stuff. I love the movies and the 80s comedies. Obviously, you can't make movies like that now. You're getting in a lot of trouble, but just that reminded me of just back to school at Rodney Dangerfield. That's what brought that back to that. Just not that isolated thing with that one particular player, but I try to make light of it. I mean, I don't know. It's like, can a player that only played 3 years in football, right, and then enters the NFL draft, can they leave the Arena League next year and go play? Can they leave the CFL next year? Like if somebody in the Big Ten needs a left tackle or something, the guy gets hurt, can you pull a guy off a practice squad on an NFL team? Can a guy from the Browns next year come back and play left tackle somewhere? I mean, it's shit is absurd. I mean, but the person though that has the most equity with me, Coach Izzo, because I think he's never been a cheater in recruiting. He's a coach's coach. I heard him say something, and I'm smart enough to listen to the best coach for me in the game, and Coach Izzo, and it's like, we're just going to do the things we do here at UConn, the way that we do them, the way that we want to build the program. We want to recruit high school players, develop them, keep them, and then we want to go in the portal and do what we do there. And we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. And if at some point the sport has changed so much that you can't be effective doing it that way, then either I'll get out of college coaching or I don't know.
Is it absurd that you can bring in a mid-season free agent too? I mean, that seems a bit bizarre for all of a sudden. Mid-January, they're adding another player.
I just reference it back to the football question. It's like, if you need a quarterback, can you go get a quarterback out of the CFL next year in college? I mean, like, if that's just, I didn't, again, when we deal with the NCAA, like we have, since I got here, obviously, we have weekly compliance or monthly compliance meetings where we sit down with people in compliance and they tell us whether we can do something or not do something. And then if they tell us that the NCAA says that we can't do something, we could, I guess, try a waiver. It just never dawned upon me to try to find the judge.
You talk to Nate at all?
What's that?
You talk to Nate at all?
I tried to call Nate, but I'm superstitious, so I haven't talked to Nate. I actually called him before I did the tweet because I wanted to let him know, like, hey, this wasn't directed at this. It's just more of just trying to make light of the whole situation. But then I realized I hadn't talked to him since we've been on a winning streak, so then I just quickly hung up the phone, and then he called me back, and then I didn't answer it. But I know Preston reached out for Kamani. Yeah, Nate's one of the best coaches and a good friend, and he's got, It's a shit show. I mean, we've got obviously just a lot of issues, and anyone that pretends, because that's the position that they took, that everything's going well and this is normal, I mean, that's just, what are we doing?
Yeah, when you look at the schedule, obviously this Villanova game feels like the start of kind of a run of tougher opponents. Is
Yeah.
that, you view it at all
I
different?
think the conference games, man, they all feel so difficult because everyone knows you so well, and because of the way the games are stacked, I think that they all feel like they're really challenging. But yeah, I mean, when you watch the better teams play on film, they're generally going to be better on offense, better on defense, better personnel. You know, and you could see that with Villanova. You know, to have a guy like Askew come in off the bench, especially just with his experience, quality, and that it's they're an NCAA tournament team and a team that's competing at the top of the league. So tough game.
You think that changes the mindset of your players going into it?
I don't think so. These guys are. My biggest issue with the group again is it's the things that are holding us back from being truly a championship level team right now. And there's some time for us to get there, but we're running out of time because again, if this keeps going like this, then this just becomes who you are.
Coach, in terms of Terrace, he's an anchor to the team in many ways. Do you feel like you need more of him? I mean, we've talked about this a lot about toughness. Do you feel like you really need more from him at this time of the year?
Yeah, I think we got to do across the board. Everyone in the organization's got to just improve the group from me all the way through to the roster. But I would say for Terrace in particular, it's like the guy is such a freak and he's such an incredible talent that I don't think there's a coach that'll ever coach him from when he was a kid through his last coach that'll coach him in the NBA or wherever he ends up ending his career is never going to be trying to get more out of Terrace because Terrace is so incredibly talented. I think that becomes the issue when you're dealing with the most talented, freakish players is like you're never satisfied because there's always another level they can get to. And I think with Terrace, it's a ferocity, it's a violence, it's a nastiness, I'm going to obliterate people. I mean, the guy is a total freak, and that's what gives me, I think, a lot of belief that the team, we've won 14 in a row, we crushed the non-conference, we've taken care of business to this point, but there's so many places where we can get better, and really, I think Terrace becoming a dominator is a big part of it.
How does toughness show itself for the rest of the team? What do you want to see there? You can see it in a big physical center, how toughness would be.
Yeah, I mean the rebounding. I mean the rebounding has just been it's been a disappointment. Just not consistently being a +6, +8, +10. We offense rebound for a half and then we don't. The amount of times we've been out rebounded in games, it's something that didn't happen to our championship teams, and it's happened to this team a lot, and a lot of that is effort. I'd say a lot of it is at that end of the court, just a relentless every single possession, just a relentlessness to you as a player and as a team, where you're just every single possession you're going to put it on the opponent.
Coach, you mentioned the win streak that you guys are on, and do you believe in momentum and how that can help a team, or do you think that it's more of a game-by-game basis?
I think from my experience with teams that did well in March and then didn't do well in March, that you do got to, if you want to advance in the NCAA tournament, you have to show an ability to put win streaks together during the year, because going and winning the tournament or going far in the tournament is about, you got to win. Win 3, 4, 5, 6 games in a row against quality teams. So I think when you are able to put together win streaks during the course of a year, I think that's a good predictor that you're going to be able to win multiple games in a row in March. That's it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks,
All right,
Tim.
you.
Everybody.
Nardi on the scout for this one?